Clouding over with rain arriving in the north, and the outlook is unsettled with a storm brewing for the weekend. I'll have all the details of that and more coming up on Good Morning Britain.
It's your birthday month.
I'm already pre-planning next Friday, everybody, my birthday month, just so everybody is prepared. Autumn is certainly rattling in, and we have seen so many storms coming across the Atlantic, causing widespread disruption. We saw the scenes in Ibiza yesterday, and they ended up getting colossal amounts of rainfall. These were some of the peak daily rainfall totals, record-breaking across the island, and in fact, some places saw half the year's worth of rainfall falling in just one day. And now we cast our eyes to the Atlantic for our next hurricane, Umberto. We talked about it yesterday, but it is set to track towards our shores. Another remnants of another hurricane, bringing with it all this warm air and energy. And for us, we are very likely on Friday to see our first named storm of the season. So we move into October and the floodgates open for the storms to rattle in. And some will feel that change today because across the north we have these wetter, windier conditions moving in. Nothing to do with those storms, just more weather fronts queuing up. But in the south, we sit with the warmth and sunshine that we have for recent days. But this is the very soggy scene greeting us on our radar. Rain for Scotland, Northern Ireland, parts of Northern England and Wales. The far southeast of England largely dry for now, but here's how it looks as we head through the day. The northern half of the UK, we have the majority of our rainfall. It'll be heavy across western areas with gusty winds of 30 to 40 miles an hour. Further south and east, we are holding on to the last of that warmth. 20 or 21 degrees, feeling very nice indeed, but miserable under these cloudy, wet, windy conditions in the north. Tomorrow, we basically do it all over again. Another weather front through Northern Ireland, Scotland, northern areas of England. The south staying fine and dry for now, but the outlook turns increasingly unsettled now that the Atlantic is moving in. Wet and windy weather dominates with this storm brewing for the weekend. Good morning to you. Stormy weather is heading towards the UK on Friday, and we look out to the Atlantic to see the developments. Two hurricanes, Imelda and Umberto, tracking their way towards the UK. They'll be picked up by the jet stream with very warm air. They'll move over cooler waters to become extratropical, but then they bring this deep area of low pressure to the UK on Friday and Saturday. The isobars close together, showing it'll be windy, lots of heavy rain, and it is likely to be our first named storm of the season later on today, and that would be Amy, so it's worth staying tuned to the forecast. But for today, it's a divided outlook. The north is wet, the south is largely dry. The latest radar shows how wet it is first thing this morning. These are precursors to the stormy weather coming later on this week. Heavy rain greets us across Scotland, Northern Ireland, northern areas of England. Gusty winds here of 30 to 40 miles an hour. For England and Wales, a cloudy start with some outbreaks of rain, but turning drier and brighter by the afternoon. And actually, in the sunshine, like yesterday, 20 or 21 degrees, feeling very nice indeed, but cloudy, wet and windy across the north. And this divided theme continues for the next few days. So let's take a look at our outlook. So we look at the north of the UK first of all. Scotland, Northern Ireland, northern areas of England, always closer to our low pressures, always closer to our wet weather. And this is the very soggy scene for the next 7 days. First off, temperature-wise, we sit around average, turns cooler into next week, but percentage chance of rainfall remains high. We have our band of rain moving in today. It's through Thursday and Friday. The rain turns very heavy, and we're likely to see warnings in force for not just heavy rain and strong winds, and then it's unsettled into next week. So we move into October, and the weather gets the memo. It is autumn storms that continue for the next 7 days. Fortunes further south for England and Wales as we head through the next 7 days. Again, temperature-wise, it is mild, above average, moderating a little into next week. But I think the big talking point will be how much rain we are set to see. Largely fine and dry for today and tomorrow. Friday, we start to see this storm moving in. It stays wet and windy into the weekend and lasts into next week.